So hey guys, what's up? Hi, I'm Preet. If you're new here, let me give you a quick introduction. Not gonna take you much time. If any of these things that you're seeing on your screen interest you, if you like watching such content, consider subscribing to my channel. Consider go checking out my channel. Just check it out. If you like it, consider subscribing. How to stop hating yourself and your reflection in the mirror. I did the video in 3 parts. The first one is just very small segment of a personal story why I wanted to what this topic is about, what I want to tell you, and the second one is which we are in right now, and the second one is going to be mindset shifts, and third is going to be actual actionable steps that you can do right now that is going to help you. So how to stop hating yourself and your reflection in the mirror. This topic is something that is very personal to me because I used to do this for years and years, but over time I changed how I looked at things, how I changed, and I took actual actions to stop doing that. And that just made me realize that there must be so many people out there who are going through the same things, and you know what, hearing from another's perspective and hearing things that help them might help you as well. Before we start, I want you to know that you are not alone in this. We've all been there. I have been there. I have personally for years not looked in the mirror because I hated the reflection, or I just didn't want to know what I'd see. And I know it can be very hard. I didn't even look in the mirror for years because I was so scared of what I'd see, because every time I looked in the mirror I could only see something wrong with me, my nose, my eyes, my cheeks, my face shape, everything. It's like my brain was just programmed to look at only the negatives in the whole mirror. And over time it just got so exhausting. And if you're someone who is constantly hating the way they look, hating themselves, has looked in the mirror and said that, ugh, why am I like that? You're not the only one, okay? We've all been there. But over time I realized that this was exhausting, not healthy, and there was nothing actually wrong with my face. The problem was my mindset and my perspective about looking at things. For years, I let my reflection control my confidence, my life, but no more. That's when I decided to change my mindset, change my life, and this is how you can too. If you're someone who goes through it, who cannot look in the mirror without picking out smallest of flaws in your face or just every little flaw in the reflection, this video is just for you. This video is all about how I changed my mindset and what steps I took to change my perspective about looking at things, about looking in the mirror. I think that could be very helpful for you. So part 1, mindset shifts. First, your face is your unique identity. Like there's no better visual representation of who you are as a person than your own face. Like your face is so uniquely you. You don't have to make it look like somebody else because you are not that person. This is the actual representation. What you see in the mirror is the actual representation of who you are as a person, how kind you are, how big your heart is, how smart you are, and how amazing of a person you are. All your good qualities, all your bad qualities, it's all like this is the perfect representation of who you are as a person. You don't have to compare it with anybody else's face because they are not you and you are not them. Like nobody and no other features in your face can embody who you are as a person better than your own face. Beauty is subjective. Like, oh my god, this is one of my favorite points. Let me give you an example here. I am a biggest Swiftie. Like, I love Taylor Swift. I love Ariana Grande as well. And growing up, I was like, Ariana Grande looks so damn beautiful. Taylor Swift looks so damn beautiful, but even Taylor Swift faced criticism for the way she looked. And that was something that I just couldn't fathom my head around. I was like, she is the exact definition of beauty, right? When I was a kid, I used to be like, she is the exact definition of beauty. Like if I look like her, I would want nothing more. But even she was like, even people were saying how bad she looks, how ugly she looks, and I was like, how? Like she is so beautiful. How can anybody say that she is not good looking? But even your own idols, people that you look up to, have faced criticism. Even the person that you feel is the epitome of beauty or who looks the most beautiful person you've met has faced criticism about their look. So beauty is very subjective, okay? Like there is I'll give you a recent example as well. I was seeing a reel on Instagram of a person that I follow. I love her, Spencer Barbosa, and she had posted a reel and she looked absolutely dead gorgeous, and I was like, wow, she looks so damn beautiful. And in the comments, people are like, this is not healthy, you don't look good. I was like, wait, what is wrong? She is so damn beautiful. Like, so I've just realized that beauty is subjective. What you find beautiful might other people might not, and what other might find beautiful. And it's not like there is no fixed standard of beauty that you have to reach. Okay, like there's no fixed thing. Like no matter what you change, how you look, there are going to be people who love how you look, who are going to hate how you look. So instead of keeping your focus on there, how about we change it and focus on the person that you are? Okay, I've just realized that beauty is an ever-changing thing. Sometimes people find beautiful is this, sometimes people find beautiful is that, but at the end of the day, there's no actual definition of it. So whatever you are chasing a changing trend. Okay, so whatever you think that you should be looking like, it's going to change over a year or over a month or even a day. Tomorrow maybe people will not find that beautiful, will you also not? So instead, what I think will never ever change is how you are as a person, how beautiful your heart is, how kind you are as a person. That is something that stays, not how you look. Even if you see, over time we all grow old, and over time we all change, our looks change. Over time you don't look the same as you looked when you were a child. So it's an ever-changing concept. Brings me to the third point. It is never going to be enough. Chasing perfection is an endless trap, because no matter what you do, no matter what you fix, it's never going to be enough. You're always going to chase the next best thing or the next better thing. It's never going to be enough. Coming from a perfectionist herself, like I'm through and through perfectionist, something that I need a lot of work on, but something that I've been working on. But coming from a perfectionist, it's an endless thing, it's never going to be enough. Nothing is ever going to be enough. Okay, let's think, like, a lot of times you want to fix your flaws, as you would call it, which they are not. You are absolutely gorgeous. Okay, I want you to know that you are absolutely gorgeous, and whatever your head is telling you right now, that this is wrong, that is wrong, I don't look good, I don't look that, you do. Okay, and who told you you don't? Which standards are you not meeting? Like, which standards? Like, if you're saying my nose should be like that, who told you that? Who set those standards of beauty? Okay, anything that you think you need to fix, like I've seen people even fix with makeup, or there are other options to fix your flaws, as somebody would call it. It's never going to be enough. You're going to find something else. Like, think about it like this. If you had an insecurity, okay, growing up, I had a biggest insecurity of my nose. I thought it was like very fat and very big. But over time, as I grew over the years, that insecurity went away, and then I got insecure about my lips. They are too thin, and they are too thin. So over time, even your insecurities change. So it's going to be an endless trap. Once you fix one thing, it's going to be another thing, and then it's going to be another thing, and it goes on and on. So it's never going to be enough, no matter what you fix. But exactly, so beauty is not your physical features. Okay, stop defining your beauty with your physical features, because the real beauty lies in embracing who you are as you are, imperfections and perfections, whatever it is, embracing who you are as you are, because you are drop dead gorgeous, and all the standards that you are chasing right now are somebody else set somewhere else, not knowing who you are, not ever seeing how gorgeous you are, and then you are literally setting the standards for beauty. Fourth thing that helps me really root down, especially when I'm having a low time and I'm going down that spiral, is your face is a reflection of your family. So next time that you're calling yourself ugly, remember that you're calling your little sister, elder sister, or little brother or elder brother, your mom, dad, your grandmother, your grandfather, everybody ugly. If you are calling yourself ugly, the next time you're calling yourself not pretty, you're calling your whole family not pretty, because you literally look like your family, right? You are a visual representation of your family. You have same features as them, and the next time that you call yourself ugly, remember that you are calling them as well. And I'm pretty sure you would not. Like your face and your appearance is literally connecting you to your whole family, your ancestors, your grandparents, your parents. And by appreciating how gorgeous and by appreciating how beautiful you are honoring your legacy, your family, and you are also calling them beautiful. And every person who came before you in your family. It is something that is very personal to me is, at the end of the day, you just want to be peaceful and happy. You just want to be content and at peace. And if you're chasing these external validations, it's never going to be enough. Changing your appearance or chasing these external goals, changing your external appearance is not going to bring you peace at the end of the day. You'll start feeling so much peaceful and so much at ease when you start accepting yourself, because you are gorgeous, my love. You are gorgeous, okay? You have to start believing that. You have to start telling yourself that you are gorgeous, and all these standards that you have set for yourself. But I think the most beautiful thing is when you start accepting yourself as you are. That's going to be the most beautiful thing, because when you start accepting yourself, you realize that the only thing that you ever needed, only love that you ever needed was yourself. Like the only person that you ever needed was yourself, and you were chasing all these external highs, all these external acceptance, while all you wanted was acceptance from yourself. Which brings me to my 6th point, which is next time that you call yourself not beautiful, try defining what is beautiful, okay? Like, what is beautiful? There's no definitive. I've already told you there's no definitive answer for beauty. Like, what is beauty? What is beautiful? I think my sister thinks sunflowers are beautiful. I think roses are beautiful. Some people think lilies are beautiful. So, what's the exact definition of beautiful? So, next time that you call yourself not beautiful, try defining what is beauty to you, because this is something that really helped me, was putting it in words, is defining what beauty is for you. Because for me, beauty is kindness, how you treat other people. Are you making other people feel comfortable about you? Because that I feel is beautiful for me. What is beauty to you? Because you know what, at the end of the day, you gotta realize that real beauty is not about external features or like high cheekbones or big lips or all these external features. It's about your energy, about your kindness, about your heart, and most important, your unique experiences. Because you know what, trends come and go, but the only thing that remains constant is you, okay? And you, your heart, your kindness, your energy, your aura, and your unique experiences is what is beautiful in you and what makes you a unique person and a very beautiful person. Which brings me to the 7th point, is shift your perspective and your attention from appearances to experiences. Okay, I want you to do this. Think about a time where you looked very, very beautiful. And now think about a time where you felt genuinely very happy. Or think about your time when you actually felt super loved. Or think about a time where you accomplished something and you felt proud of yourself. Which one made you feel better? So just think about the moments of joy in your life. Think about a time where you felt loved in your life. Think about a time where you accomplished something and you felt proud of yourself, or just something that you did that made you feel proud of yourself. How beautiful was that? Was that not beautiful? So think about those times and try to recreate that, instead of chasing some trend, following some trend that is going to be a never-ending cycle of perfectionism. Because your experiences, or your experiences of joy and of love and of amazing, happy emotions define your life more than your external features ever will. Which brings me to a 8th very important point. Something that really changed my perspective is the mirror-like concept. There's something called that. You could go search about it. You could even ask ChatGPT about it, and it's a very good concept, which basically says that the mirror is basically lying to you, because it basically says that the version of you that you are seeing in your mirror is a distorted version of you, and it's not the reality. And the reflection that you're seeing in the mirror is oftentimes distorted by your thoughts, your emotion, and your self-perception. How many times have you seen in the mirror and not been affected by your thoughts, your own insecurities, your past experience, societal expectations? All these things eventually affect how you are seeing what you are seeing. So I kind of there is like 5 to 10 minutes of footage that has not come in between. Maybe I forgot to put the record button on, or I might have deleted it by mistake, and please ignore my hair right now, because my exams are going on, my final exams are going on, and I've been editing this, and I was like, you know what, I want to shoot this and get this edit done because I can't wait for you to see this video. So yeah, we were talking about the mirror like concept, which is such an interesting thing to talk about, and it's such an interesting perspective to look at things from. You can definitely go search it up, but let me give you like an overview what it basically means. Okay, so it basically has a lot of aspects that basically means that the mirror, what you see in the mirror is basically the mirror is lying to you, because first is that what you see is a flipped version. That's my, we see that, my angle is this, my angle is wrong, and there are a lot of types of mirrors, like some mirrors you look absolutely gorgeous in, some mirrors you don't look absolutely gorgeous in, and like the mirror that you are comparing yourself at our home are not designed according to the angles, according to the light, according to what we want to see. Like if you see in the changing rooms of some of the good places, you will see like you look absolutely amazing in, you are looking amazing, the dress is looking amazing on you when you go to a mall and you try on things, but when you come back home, they don't look the same in the mirror of your house. So your house mirror wasn't made according to lights and angles and keeping all this in mind. While it's a very good example, if you go to the mall, some things in the mirror look really good, but then when you come back it doesn't. So that's a good example. Also, secondly, this the mirror is lying to you is such a good concept because let me give you an example that I'm sure everybody has gone through. Is for example, if you've woken up and you're feeling really good and you look in the mirror and you're like, wow, I look so damn gorgeous today, and same day if you have like some things are not going your way and it just turns out to be a bad day, later that same day in the same outfit, same you are like, oh my god, I don't look good. Like this has happened to me a lot of times personally, because of the same day, same outfit, same me, same way. In the morning I'm like, oh my god, I look so amazing. In the evening I'm like, oh my god, I pick out all the flaws and I'm like, oh my god, I don't look good. So this has happened to me in the past. So I just personally feel that example is such a good example. Like on the same day in the same mirror, you sometimes feel good and you sometimes don't feel good, because basically what you are seeing is a lot affected. It's affected a lot by what your mood is. Sometimes when you are happy and in a good mood, you will feel like you look amazing, but when you are not in a happy mood, or you are in a sad or an angry mood, the same thing that you'll see, maybe it's a photo or maybe it's in the same mirror, at the same time you'll feel like you're not looking good. So it's all dependent on the mood that you're in. So also something that mirror like concept covers a little is basically that in the mirror we are seeing such zoomed parts, we are going here and we are like, oh my god, this looks bad, what will people think? But in reality people don't come that close to you. In reality people are not so observant of you. Like when you're looking in the mirror, we are hyper focused on what we are seeing and on us and on the small details, and then we go and pick out the small details. But in reality nobody does that. Nobody even sees half of the things that you're criticizing about yourself in the mirror, which is basically something that it covers. So I think it's a really good concept that mirror is basically lying to you. It's a really good thing you can keep in your mind. Whenever you start looking in the mirror and you're like, I don't like what I see, you can simply saying that it is lying to me because I'm feeling down right now, and it is just adding to my insecurities and all at the moment and my self-doubt, but it is lying to me right now. The next one is neutrality before self-love. Sometimes it's so easy for people to say that you should love yourself and you should accept who you are as you are. It's so easy to say, but it's so damn difficult. Nobody talks about how difficult it is, especially when you are having low moments or you are down and you're not feeling good. It's so difficult to love yourself, accept who you are as you are, and just be there and accept you. It's tough, okay? Especially for me, I just feel it's really tough, especially when I'm in a downtime, to be like, it's okay. It's tough to be there, okay? When you are criticizing yourself, it's tough to practice self-love. So something that really helped me was practicing neutrality before self-love. You cannot just wake up one day and say that I love every part of me. That's not how it works. It's a continuous process. So in case you're feeling super down, and what you can do is just, instead of just directly skipping to self-love and fully embracing who you are, which you should, okay? But before that, you can just take a step ahead in that direction by saying that, by staying neutral, by not just hating. Hating, you cannot change your body. By hating, you cannot hate your body to change. So instead of hating it, how about we just come to a neutral ground where you are basically saying that my nose, like for example, if you're insecure about your nose, you're like, my nose is just my nose. My lips are just lips. My eyes are just my eyes. Just come to a neutral ground and then we can work on that. So it's something that helps me. You don't have to directly be like, one day you are hating your nose and then the next day you're gonna wake up and say, oh my god, I love how gorgeous my nose is. That's not how it works. So it's like, come to neutral first and then you can take a step ahead from there. And I hope I'm making sense, and if you're watching till now, I love you. So let me know if you somebody is watching till here. I would love to say hi to you. Hi. Thank you for doing that. Makes me believe that I'm not just talking to a screen on the phone. Before accepting and loving yourself, the first step is you can just stop judging yourself so damn much. Instead of saying my nose is crooked, my nose is broad, blah blah blah, you can just be like, my nose is nose. Stop judging yourself first and then you can go to loving yourself. Coming to the last 2 points, seeing yourself through somebody else's eyes. Nobody, listen to me, nobody is saying that, oh my god, I love that girl because she has a thin nose. I love that person because she has thin eyebrows. I love that girl because she has I like being friends with this girl because she has big lips. Nobody is saying like that. Your appearance is literally the least attractive part of you, okay? And you gotta start believing that, okay? There are so many things about you that are so much more attractive than your physical features, okay? That's literally the least attractive thing about you. Like I usually say, I am friends with her because she's such a good person. She's so kind, she's so sweet, and she's so helpful. These are the attributes I describe my friends, and I've heard nobody saying that I'm friends with Pri because she has a perfect face. I'm friends with Pri because she's so thin. Nobody talks like that, okay? So start keeping that in perspective, that nobody except you is talking like that, okay? Just think about how your mother is seeing you. Your mother is not seeing how bad your nose is or how crooked your eyebrows is or how thin your lips is. Your mother sees how good of a person you are, how kind you are, how many capabilities you have. So try seeing yourself through the lens of your loved ones, because I'm sure they are not looking at you the way you are looking at yourself. Try putting yourself in their shoes and looking at yourself, if that makes sense. And the last and the final part, last and the final point is separate your self-worth from your looks, okay? You are not worth your looks, okay? So long people, I've seen a lot of my friends do this, as well as I was here too at one point, where I used to determine my worth is equal to my appearance, how good I look. That's not true, okay? That's not true. You have to separate your self-worth from your appearance. You know what? How you can do it is start celebrating qualities that make you, okay? Like your resilience, your ambition, your passion, your consistency, anything about you have to start counting your qualities, things that you are good at, qualities that you are good at, and you start celebrating that, okay? Instead of saying that, oh, I look so good. No, I'm a very kind person. That is a good thing, because you gotta believe, love, you gotta believe that your appearance is literally the least important thing about you, okay? That's the last thing anybody is looking at, okay? People are looking how sweet you are, how kind you are, how good of a person you are, how smart you are. These are qualities that can be celebrated, okay? Okay, so first one is create a self-love playlist. This is something that has always helped me. Like, just go on Spotify and try to put uplifting self-love songs into a playlist. Just make a playlist that makes you feel confident and makes you feel loved, because this is something that has always worked for me. I'm just giving you examples that are really amazing, like Confident by Demi Lovato, Just the Way You Are by Bruno Mars. Just songs that are like make you feel loved, makes you feel absolutely amazing, makes you feel loved, and makes you feel confident. Let me know, what, here, if you're watching till here, let me know your favorite song down in the comments, which is something that always lifts your mood whenever you're feeling down or whenever you're feeling insecure. Something that is a very personal song for me is Perfectly Perfect by Simple Plan. That has always made me feel better. Second is stop comparing yourself right now, okay? Like, you gotta stop comparing yourself with everybody, okay? Whenever you're catching yourself comparing with somebody, take a step back. Just take a step back. Take a breath. Just take a step back. Right now, just remove yourself from the source that is making you feel insecure, making you feel down or making you feel bad about yourself, right now just take a step back and remove yourself from the environment that is making you feel that. Remove the source, whether it's social media, whether it's the environment, whether it's the person, or whether it's people that is making you feel. Just take a step back, okay? Because it's about time that you start prioritizing your needs over everybody else. So whatever it is, take a step back and remove that source for right now. Later we can work on how to heal from that and how to stop comparing yourself. I've already made a video about how to stop comparing and feeling jealous, but you can check it out if you want. But right now, if you're feeling down, you gotta step back. Just take a moment to refocus on yourself, okay? Make yourself the main character in your own life, and whenever you're feeling down, put all your attention on yourself, okay? Third is surround yourself with positivity. Anything that is bringing you positive vibes, now is the time to bring that in. Surround yourself with people who bring you positivity, who uplift you, to people who you feel safe around, okay? So surround yourself. Maybe talk to your parents. Something that helps me is talking to my parents, always lifts me up. So maybe that, or maybe talking to a person that you feel very supported by or feel very loved by, who you know is going to be there no matter what. Or it doesn't have to be like you have to surround yourself with positive people. If you don't have that, you can just distance yourself from the toxicity also. That will also increase the positive energy in your life. Just surround yourself with positivity. If it's your environment, change your environment. If it's toxic people, remove those toxic people and just at least take a step back from them for now, because we gotta increase the positive energy right now and decrease the negative energy. And you know in your life what is increasing the positive energy and what is decreasing the positive energy. You can do that by adding positive energy or by removing negative energy. Fourth one is something that you might call me cringy for, and it's very cliche, okay? And it's very cliche, but it works, okay? Like, it might feel weird and cliche at the start, but it works. Is mirror affirmation. Stand in the front of the mirror and say it. I know sometimes, I used to be like that, okay? I used to be in your exact situation and be like, that does not work. Just go in the mirror and say this, but it actually works, okay? In my personal experience, it has worked. So just go in front of the mirror, and it's not going to work if you're saying it one time, okay? You have to keep repeating it until your brain actually believes it. Like, stand in front of the mirror and say, like, okay, for example, I have some mirror affirmations written down here that I love to say is, I am beautiful, I am strong, I am brave. I know it feels very, even if you are not coming up with yourself, like, I like to do this thing is basically whatever insecurity or whatever doubt I'm feeling right now, I write that down. Like, for example, I feel I am not brave. Example, I cut it down and I write it down, I am brave, and I then go in the mirror and repeat that. Repetitive makes it actually helps you internalize that. And I know it sounds like a cliche, but at least give it a try, okay? Maybe it might work for you. Fifth is, if whenever you find yourself feeling down or feeling insecure about, or feeling like you're hating the reflection in the mirror, that really helps is shift the focus. Like, think like this: what are the features that I love about myself? So my eyes have always been something that I love about my face and something that I've always loved. So instead of looking at my nose or whatever I don't like about myself, I try to focus on things about me that I love. So I love my eyes. So shift the focus from what you hate to what you love. That will at least help you calm down and just gain you some confidence, and try to put words in it, okay? Like, I love how my smile is so radiant. I love how my eyes are so expressive. So you can do these things. Sixth is something that is always very important. If you ever wanna feeling down, or if you're feeling insecure, that is something in your environment is making you feel that way, you need to declutter your space, okay? That is something that has always helped me, and I would always tell everybody to do that. So is decluttering your space. For example, what I mean is just remove things that are giving you negativity and are make you feel doubt about yourself or making you feel insecure. Remove those and replace it by things that uplift you, that are positive and are encouraging you and are inspiring you. So it's just removing this and replacing it with better things. So for example, is if you follow some accounts on Instagram or on social media that are making you feel insecure, doubtful, bad about yourself, unfollow them. It's about time that you start unfollowing people. So unfollow those accounts that are making you feel doubtful, making you feel insecure, and replace it by following accounts that are positive, that are uplifting. Like, replace it by creators who are more real. Something that really helped me was I used to follow all these unattainable standardized, like people with these unattainable beauty using all these filters and all these amazing lighting, and that was making me feel doubtful about myself. So I started following creators who are real and sharing real insights about real life. So something that you could consider doing. Okay, so the next two ones are little basic, may work, may not work, have not always worked for me but might work. Is one thing is writing gratitude. Like, this is something that helped me is for some time and has not helped me also at the same time, but it could help you. Is making a gratitude list for yourself every day. Write 3 things that you love about yourself. Like, every day just take a note and write 3 things that you like about yourself. It can be very small to small things, it can be big things, small things, anything. What you can also do is put it in a jar, and whenever you are feeling down, you could pick it out and read these things that you said about yourself, that you are criticizing yourself. So this is something that might work. Is writing it every day, that I love how my smile is so radiant, and put it down, just 3 things every day, and whenever you're feeling down, you could read them. Or you can just, over time also, you don't have to read them again. Over time, when you start being grateful and showing gratitude to who you are as a person, might actually change your perspective. These are things that you absolutely love about yourself. Like, these can also be things like that how big my heart is, how comfortable people feel sharing things with me, something like that. And the next one is get creative with self-expression. Like, just try out new activities, new hobbies, new things. Try new styles, hobbies, activities, just new things that reflect your personality. Just helps you embrace who you are. That just helps you portray and bring your personality more enhanced. Just reflect your journey, your creativity, and who you are as a person. Next one is something that I've always done and something that's always been there. I mean, this is the actual proof of it. This is the actual proof of it, is journaling your experience. Sometimes just putting it in words can help. A lot of times, whenever you're feeling down, just try writing it down. Like, sometimes that gives us a perspective about how critical we are being of ourselves. And you know what, it can help you. Like, I can go about 12-13 different ways that will help you. It's just writing down that I don't like the way I'm looking right now, I don't know why I'm feeling this way. Just whatever you're feeling in the moment, just write it down. Just write about your feelings or your progress. Okay, whatever is working out for you, whatever is not working out for you, just write it down. That can really help. Journaling just helps you reflect and grow in the long run. So I really wish you'd give it a single try. You don't have to journal every day also. Like, if you are not a person who journals every day, you can just do it in times when you're feeling down, or whenever you are feeling bad about yourself. That could work also. Body gratitude exercise is something that is thanking your body for what it is already doing. It is showing gratitude to your own body. For example, thank you, hands, for helping me create. Thank you, hands, for helping me express my feelings and what I'm expressing more clearly. Or thank you, legs, for carrying me throughout the day. Just thank your body, make it feel appreciated. You have to appreciate your own body. Then only will you actually start accepting and embracing it. The 11th is take a social media detox. Social media can be a very good place. There are so many pros about having a social media, but sometimes it does get a lot. Coming from a person who does spend a lot of time on social media, it can do wonders for you, but at the same time, it can get a lot with so much content you are constantly consuming. Just spend some time offline to reconnect with who you are. Just spend time alone with yourself, okay? Like, spend time with yourself offline, away from phones, away from digital. Just take a digital detox, even if you can't take it for long. You can take it for an hour or a half an hour also. Just take some time with yourself, embracing the beauty of the world outside social media and outside your phone. And last is change your perspective about comparisons. No matter how perfect you think everybody else's life is outside, it's not always the case. Like, online, like, especially with social media, it has become so easy to think that everybody has it figured out and you are the only person who doesn't. But that's not true. Every single person in the world has insecurities about something or the other, and you're not alone in this. Okay, so yeah, even if you think that the other person is perfect, they also have insecurities. Even the idol that you are idolizing or somebody that you look up to has insecurities, and that is completely fine. That's what makes us humans, okay? We all have insecurities. So I really hope this was helpful. If you found this, and that's all, that brings us to the end of this video. If you think this was helpful, consider checking out my channel, consider subscribing to my channel. You know the drill. Like, share, comment. I would love to have a chat on the comments about anything and everything. So comment down anything and everything, something that helped you, something that you're going through, anything. So comment that, like, share it with somebody who might need this right now. Yeah, so I hope you liked the video. That's all. You know I love you, right?